this game, and they proceed to lose. He went 21, 5, and 10, so he did particularly pretty well. But they end up losing. This is a ranked South American server, so see what happens. All too often, I feel like games are won or lost just in the picking phase. It's all the time. Just
Venomancer.
okay, like a first pick Venomancer. Like what does that actually do? Like what role is that? Sven's a strong pick. He can carry. He's tanky. He can go support. Very flexible. Lion's a good pick. You know, Lion just good lockdown support. But the Venomancer, is that like a mid Veno? Is it gonna be an offlane Veno? Is it gonna be a support? Like I mean, it's flexibility, but like he melts. Like Venomancer's like two very low squishy supports against this Sven right now. So that's a bad start, I think.
Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Maiden, that's always a good pick. You can jungle, you can get your levels, got some disable. The mana is good for a Sven. I mean, like if you can abuse the mana ability of Crystal Maiden early on, you should win. If not all of your lanes, at least 2 of the 3. And that's with her kind of jungling too. So I like the Maiden pick. Lina, I'm guessing Lina goes mid. Like at this point, I think Lina mid, Venomancer, Lion supports. Then you can get an offlaner and a carry. Lina's a fine hero, though she'll blow up the Maiden. She, you know, her nuke goes through BKB, so Sven's not the safest, you know, when he gets his BKB, but still, it's just a squishy lineup, like a really squishy lineup. Okay, so we did a Techies pick and a Dragon Knight. So like right now, I would lane this Dragon Knight mid, Lina safe lane. Maybe I guess they didn't pick the mid, so I don't know. But with the Techies, like I would just try to go early push. You've got Venomancer for push, Dragon Knight for push, and you know you've got sustain in terms of Lion with his mana, and Lina just gets regen items. So you've got an amazing amount of burst damage. That Omni Knight pick is that's a very good pick. Omni Knight kind of just screws over everything you would want. It negates some of the burst, gives another BKB with the repel, and Guardian Angel does things. So that Mirana, I get this. Like, so you've got 4 squishy heroes, really squishy heroes, who don't really synergize well. They don't have much burst, and you can see that like Maiden helps the tech. It helps like these are like really huge mana dependent heroes. They don't really buy mana items. So the Maiden pick with these 3 is just amazing. And Techies can buy you time, just slowing the game down a bit so Sven can get bigger. Omni Knight can just help for those big team fights, and they need a mid. Kunkka is a solid pick too. So change the player perspective. Yeah, I feel like right now, like if I were to bet on this, assuming these teams were equal skill, I'd be like 75 for the Dire and 25 for the Radiance. It's just
prepare for battle.
It's just so much just so much of an outdraft, it looks like. I would actually lane the Dragon Knight mid because with Tide, I mean, there's got very little kill potential. So with Tidebringer, you can just negate that with 1 point in Dragon Blood. And Alina can get free farm in a lane. Then you've got Alina, a Lion, and a Venomancer in a lane together. So like those should be easy kills. Whereas having a DK in that lane isn't gonna really do much because he doesn't have that much burst damage. So I feel like the laning could have been a lot better. The picks definitely could have been better, and just a huge problem. Just if so many games are lost in the first 2 minutes between lane choices because people never want to rotate or change lanes, and with picks were very one-sided. I think. I mean, there's 3 melee heroes on the Dire. Both cores are melee. This Lina can't get picked off here.
The battle begins.
Like, you knew that they were there, so there's no reason to try to go for that rune. Oh, That's a bad start. Vino kills the Omni. Like, there's no reason to try to go for that rune. Like, that rune right there, like, going for that rune is going to cost you about 200-300 gold. So, like, the early death, you didn't get it, they got it. So yeah, just right here, like, this is a big thing. Like, going for runes, like, if the rune's secure and you get, like, I'm gonna do it all the time. I'm really greedy with that. But, like, how much did that actually cost? How much did that death cost your team? Okay. So right now, three creeps gone on each side. Kunkka is level 2.5 and has his bottle coming. So he is. I mean, it's like that's at least a 700 gold swing right there. On top of that, you know, a little bit of splash for this fan, but like that cost you a level and a half and a decent amount of gold. A level and a half is insane early on. Like, I'm assuming Kunkka should be able to just bully you out with Tidebringer now. Yeah, that's a lot of damage on a splash. But he's looking at net worth. Yeah, net worth. Like, you're at 700 and he's at 1350. That's a 650 gold swing at the very least. Plus the runes, so that's 750 right there. Not worth dying for. And your teammates did get a kill in the other lane, but huge problem. That's something you can definitely work on. In terms of the last hits, like you're doing pretty well considering. If you're gonna use a nuke spell, it's not the worst. I would go bottle next instantly. About halfway there. You got your lion pulling, so your team's not doing the worst, but you're overall very squishy and like, I think what's gonna happen is, like, I haven't seen this game, I haven't like gone through the replay yet, but what's gonna happen is you're not gonna have enough pushing power and you're not gonna do enough mid game, and your late game's pretty weak. You gotta hit that LSA. That could have actually been a kill right there. I mean, you're gonna miss him. Everyone will. So I mean, like, don't worry about it. But I mean, like look at this. Like, you gave the Kunkka a free wave and all that levels and experience, and you're pretty much tied with CS. So, like, you could be smashing this lane right now. You know, you might have your bottle and he wouldn't have his, so he'd have very little sustain. And that would go a long way. So, right now, like, you have to think your lane's going pretty well. I mean, yeah, you've pretty much made up a good chunk of the experience, so that's a plus. You're getting really punished not having your bottle. You missed another LSA. Don't die again, please don't die. Might get a kill here. Wow, that's a good play. Good work dodging it. That's huge. Like, that really turned the lane around. He got very greedy and you punished him for it. You did a good job avoiding, you know, kind of juking in a non-conventional way just to, you know, just a kind of good work to Battle Crow. It's very, you know, unconventional way to go. You kind of went back up towards him as opposed to running back like he assumed. So that was, you know, little plays like that win games big time. If I were you, I'd shift Q your items. That's something you're not doing. That is very important. Shift Q is you just hold the shift button and select an item, the next item you want to buy from the inventory, and it puts the components here, so you can just right click on them or set up a hotkey to do so. It's not the most, you know, most important thing in the world, but if you already know what you have, and, you know, if you panic buy something, that's great. So yeah, you're leading in CS by a decent amount right now. You walk right. The vision's a little rough, but overall, like, your team's winning your lanes. The problem is you've got, you know, their carry of Sven and Kunkka is a lot better than a DK, Lina, Mirana in some situations. Considering their supports do a little bit more with the Crystal Maiden Omni as opposed to the Avenge Lion. Like, Lion's a really good support. But this DK is doing good in farm. I was actually shocked. I assumed the DK did very poor with farm. He ended the game with like 250 last hits at 53 minutes, which is not so great. You can look to Laguna this guy out. Like, if he's low, you should always be just very aggressive. Like, I'd Dragon Slave Laguna him here. You don't have the mana for it. So, unfortunate.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You didn't really have to follow up. You should have known that he was definitely going for a rune, so you should have gone for the other one. Like, you were the full bottle's more dangerous than him. Now you gotta walk back to base. That's gonna just every time you walk back to base and have to TP back, it costs you gold and a lot of experience. And you know, just buying like an extra set of tangos would be worth it. If you know, early on, maybe don't go null talisman.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm not a fan of treads. The extra damage is actually insane on her because Fiery Soul goes a long way.
Dire's bottom tower
and this is where you wish you didn't use your Laguna Blade. Use your Laguna Blade to get kills. Like, if you're not going to get a kill, or it's not going to be close, don't just use it to back someone off. Because, you know, now you're stuck waiting here for 20 seconds, or however long you wait. Like, if you had it, you could just walk up in Laguna and probably just kill that Sven right on the spot. Yeah, like, this Sven's dead if you just walk up Laguna. I mean, he's dead regardless, but it's one of those, yeah, he was dead regardless, but in some situations you might not, you know, get so lucky. You might back off. And, you know, at 4K, that Sven's not going to be sitting there just tanking creeps and, you know, trying to lifesteal it back. So you're doing good in last hits. You and the, I mean, like, you're beating the Conka, and the DK is doing well in his lane. Back to the treads versus phase boots. I mean, treads give you some attack speed and some mana pool, but you generally build items that increase your mana pool anyway. Whereas the phase boots gives you the extra move speed and a lot of damage. Like, you're getting 24 damage, which, you know, considering you can attack insanely fast, it's really nice. And the harass is actually a lot better too. You know, I mean, if you had phase boots, you could have possibly, you know, picked him off. You could have overcompensated for the fact that he was running backwards. So I would definitely consider going phase boots on that. I mean, maybe mana boots on like a supporting Lina. I just don't think treads are very good for her. They don't really. It doesn't really do much. Your team is lacking in wards in some position. Like, there was a ward here, so you had to know that Omni was getting that rune. I would have went top to get another one, and yeah, that's a regen rune you could have gotten. So I mean, you went bot to maybe try to contest the rune with an Omni Knight, who, you know, until you get Ags, he's kind of an enemy to you right now. Can't really kill him. I mean, you're back and forth. I would have considered just wailing on some tower damage. You will get that. You will get that rune anyway. But that's a problem. Like, you got the rune anyway, but you know, you could have gotten damage off. So you guys are gonna lose a tower here. That's an early tower to lose. This is where phase boots would have helped. Oh, don't tell me you die here. Yeah, if you have phase boots, like, this Crystal Maiden's dead immediately. Like, there's no way she gets away. Like, you might still get her. Yeah. This Techies is rocking you guys, though. Techies is what, like 5-0, 4-0? 4-0. 4-0 and a suicide. So he's doing a lot of work. Back to base is good. Shift Q your items. You want your next item set. If you're going heals, there you go. That's big. It helps a lot. Bottle crowing base is good. Yeah, this bot lane's getting shredded though. Like, the DK's got farm. It's just this Techie's got a lot of kills. And I guess it's better to have the kills on the Techies than on like the Sven or the Kunkka, but you know, a lot of these can be avoided. I feel like right now, and maybe even maybe you want Treads, if you keep them on strength, Treads to help deal with the Techies' mines. I would guess, you know, these 3 heroes should all have a bracer, just an extra bracer on them, or a belt of giant strength. Just to yeah, he's got 600 hit points. He walks over 2 mines, he's dead. 500, same thing, dead. You know, Ring of Akia. I mean, it helps, but you're gonna die to mines every time. Every time you're gonna die to mines. So your teammates don't really know how to play against the Techies, and like, I mean, all you guys need to do is, I feel like, was tank up. Like, if again, I mean, I don't even. I'm gonna check and see how many mines he walked over, because I'm curious. Actually, let's go back even further and see the Mirana. Mirana's gonna TP top.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Why it does that? Goes ultra slow.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is up. Radiant structures are fortified.
Okay, so this Mirana TP's in with like 200 hit points. So it's just bad on her. So she's not a good player, and that's what's gonna happen. Mind out. Boom. And that's gonna happen a lot to your team. If you're not going to buy like a bracer might prevent some of these deaths. So there's 1 mine. This Techie's got 1 mine here.
Tower is under attack.
So does this line die to 1 mine? There's no way, right? Yeah, see, these supports die in the 1 mine. If he had a bracer there, he lives. And the amount of gold, you know, I mean, don't even need a bracer. You just need just a little more hit points, and that would go a long way. Yeah, good work. I mean, you're doing a good job with that. Like, your teammates are killing you right now. I'd be more vocal to, at the start of the game, just be aware, like, if you're playing against the Techies, squishy supports need a little bit more hit points. And every time they die, you know, that 200-300 gold is another set of sentries that they can't buy. And it snowballs out of control because they're poor and they want to get items. And, you know, you've got very few words in play. You're missing your LSAs. I would practice that a little bit more. This Kunkka can die, but I mean, I feel like right now you don't have the most CS, but you've got more than the guy you land against. You're 4-1 and the Kunkka's 3-1, so you guys are about a wash, which is pretty much fine. That should be a free kill. No, that can't happen. That's got to be a free kill. Okay, let's take a look at that. See if we can figure out what the hell happened. That's got to be that's a dead Techie. If that's a dead Techie's right there, he's 5-0 effectively. Like, that's a lot of gold. That's a lot of gold picked off. Like, his bounty's huge.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
All right, let's see what happens here. Throws it. Maybe try to not chain the stun so much, but like that's a lot of gold you could have gotten, and that would have been huge. Even if you just like back, you just again, two mines will kill these forts. So you guys are losing this game now because you're going against the Techies, and you picked very squishy heroes, and you're not aware that one bracer would go a long way, just on every hero. Bracer or a magic stick, there's gonna be a magic wand. 4 to all stats. That's what, 70-something hit points? Helps. I mean, you don't need much to beat a Techies early on. Like, I don't think the sports have bought sentries at all. I'd be more vocal with them just to say, hey, if we want to win this game, we just need vision. But your team's getting out last hit now, and that's a problem. And this Omni is going to be like impossible to take down. Supports seem lost. This is clearly like a 3K game. Supports, you got one ward on the map, which it's a nice ward, but you need more. You need vision in like this general area, because there's gonna be if you see where the techies is, like this Mirana can just Mirana can walk up and arrow him, arrow and finger when he hits 6. So that would be a big deal. Yeah, you have to know there's a couple heroes there
has been killed
because of the fact you saw the courier go. So this is a dangerous position you guys are in. That should have been a kill. That's a little mistake on your part. You guys are gonna get wrapped around on. It's probably a team wipe. No, maybe is it? This fight's turned out a lot better for you guys than I thought it would. But the boat's gonna hurt. Yeah, yeah, so like you saw the courier going there, so you guys should have all backed off. You don't want to fight that right there. If you had killed the Omni Knight, that Kunkka wouldn't have been able to get those kills. So, I mean, you were on Agi Treads. If you had the extra bonus damage from Phase Boots, you might have gotten that kill, and that fight would have gone completely different. So, like that one item purchase, that might have cost your team 4 or 5 kills. The ones you don't get, and the ones that they get. Yeah, I mean, Venomancer, like, still 600 hit points. He's gonna die to mines a bunch of times. Lion, I mean, has 600 hit points. On the nose, gonna die to mines all the time.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Went treads finally. Like just a bracer into a drum. Like a drum would have been good on her. DK want Mask of Madness. That is a problem. Your DK needs to get tanky. Like, they don't have that much sustained damage except for the Sven. And if you take the Sven out, like, this Kunkka's not going to be hitting hard early on. Like, I feel like your team just needed to tank up. Had Sven tech his kills of Venomancer, no shock there because he doesn't want to buy any items for stats. Stats are so important. It's a big kill. That's a lot of gold for you. So your next item should be an Ags. Hopefully you go Ags next. Like right now, it feels like this game. This game pretty much comes down to poor hero choices of your teammates, poor landing of them, and poor itemization. For you, I think I don't keep harping on it, but it's not so much to talk about. If you get phase boots, you don't go for that rune sacrifice early on, you'd be in really good shape. And a couple kills you missed that were really close. So, and that's one of those, hey, maybe if you don't die, early on, you'll get those kills because you have an extra level, and an extra level in, Fiery Soul would have been huge. The extra attack speed, move speed would have possibly gotten you there. And that's all, like, theory crafting, but at the same time, that's an important thing to try to figure out. Because if it's not working now, you should try to switch to Agi if you can, or Strength at that point.
Dire's structures are fortified.
You just don't want this tower denied. If you get this tower denied, that's going to just be a huge drain of money. Why he's trying to do as is. Wow. So yeah, this is clearly a 3K game. Like this lion goes in. That's a good kill. This lion goes in and tries to earth spike a guy who's magic immune. Nice arrow. Yeah, this is just sloppy.
Sorry, sister, but you needed thawing.
I think Shadow Blade's a bad item right now on Lina. I think you should want Ags. It's a lot of damage. Ags is a lot of damage. Ags is wow, that's a good fight for you guys. That's like 1,000 gold plus the kill on this fence is probably like closer to 1,500, 1,800. Shadow Blade doesn't really do that much for you. I feel like if you have Ags, you can blow up this Sven every time you see him, or the Kunkka, because what makes it pure damage? 675 pure damage. That's a good amount on the Sven or the Kunkka, and those are the guys you need to worry about. Shadow Blade will, you know, if you're going for Shadow Blade for pickoff kills, you're gonna want Phase Boots for the extra damage that comes with them. And you might be able to just kill him with your combo, but like if you want Yules, Yules is your setup item. You don't need. You shouldn't need a Shadow Blade too. Like Shadow Blade's good on some heroes, but what does it actually do? What does it actually do for Silver Edge? Like what does a Silver Edge do for you? Gotta hit your combo. Very nice.
You make a fine creature.
Yeah, Shadow Blade's just not good. I think it's a huge mistake on your part right here. Like, I mean, it might be okay. Like, you might be able to run around and get a bunch of kills, and that'd be great. But I'm very hesitant. You've also got a DK who is his farm slowing down big time. He doesn't have a mechanism to farm quicker. He went Mask of Madness, so it looks like you guys want to fight right now. You do want to fight right now. Mirana's got a gem. You should be 5-manning it. It's got to be a 5-man. Like if you do anything else, you just, you know, potentially screwing over your.
Radiant's middle tower is
In fact, you have a gem. Then you want to cash in this gem very quickly. The problem is, like, they're on the aggressive, so that gem's just a liability right now. Your DK's farming by himself. He's got a Mask of Madness for some reason. Now you're using it to farm quicker. 1 point in Dragon's Blood, but 3 points in Stun. That's a huge mistake. And I know I'm talking about a lot of other heroes at this point too, but it's important to understand all the heroes. Oh, I don't want to be that guy. I really don't want to be that guy, but I have to. I need to see how much health this Sven is at when you almost kill him, because Phase Boots are 24 damage and Treads are 9. So that's 15 extra damage per attack.
Radiant's top tower is up. Radiant structures are fortified.
So that Sven was at, you know, 50, 60 hit points.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So yeah, it's one of those things, like if that Sven goes down, you guys win that fight. So I feel like all those decisions, say if you didn't have like a Shadow Blade, maybe if you had 2 parts of Ags, you know, the extra damage off that too would have been good. I mean, Shadow Blade does give, you know, attack speed and attack damage, which is, you know, fine and all. The thing is, having, you know, most different Ags, you know, you can one-shot this maiden. Like this maiden's an insta kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Techies actually get tanky, but yeah, I feel like overall your team has no coordination. Yeah, it just looks like there's very little team fights, and you gotta kill that Sven. There you go. But yeah, if you had you know, if you had Phase Boots and instead of Shadow Amulet, if you had Phase Boots and you catch this Crystal Maiden, it's again all that one decision seems to be a big deal. You do catch her ultimately, thankfully, but
more like crystal melted.
You know how often? Maybe, you know, how often do these heroes get away if you know if they make better decisions, or maybe someone else comes and bails them out? I think. Yeah, I think your item build is something you should really work on. I mean, it's something you know, if you have questions or wherever you want to discuss it, I you know bounce ideas off you. But in general, it's Phase Boots Ags, or I mean, well, Phase Boots Yules Ags, because you've got your setup there, and I mean, like Shadow Blade's good, but if you turn into a Silver Edge, what are you really disabling? They don't have that much to disable. Like if there was a Bristleback, I'd say Shadow Blade's fine. Or someone who actually, you know, needs something disabled. But like right now, you can just see that in terms of farm, your team's getting smashed. So it's probably gonna make a 6k gold lead. Experience about the same. Wow, it's only like a 1.5, 2k. That's crazy. I thought you guys were down a lot more. Problem is this Fen is getting bigger, and this Kunk is getting bigger, and your DK has a Mask of Madness at 20 minutes in an Ogre Club. You've got items, but they're not
This'll come in handy.
as relevant as, like, if you, like I said, if you had phase boots and had Ags, you'd be able to, you could run up Yule's Lina, LSA, and just kill her with your ult. You could do it with pretty much anyone on the team. You throw a Dragon Slave in there like this, Kunk at 1300 hit points. When you hit 16, your ult will do 950 plus LSA plus Dragon Slave. You can nuke one person down every 50 seconds. Just free kill after free kill after free kill. So I would definitely reconsider your item builds in the future. It's an easy way. Like I said, if you pick up the right build, like, you might get a kill. If you get a kill here, yeah, I don't, because that's a huge problem right there. You don't have the mana for your spell. You don't have the mana for your Laguna Blade to get the kill. I don't know how you should not have gotten that. And also, like, this is a big thing right here. This is confusing the hell out of me.
This'll come in handy.
So you TP mid, you want to go on this Sven. So you walk up to here, and then Yules him. You need to walk up closer. I mean, the Shadow Blade seemed useless there. Like, you didn't really need that Shadow Blade to get what you were doing. So think of it that way. Like, right now, you could have a full Ags instead of the Shadow Blade with the extra gold you have. So, like, you didn't use your Shadow Blade like, you got it, you didn't use it the way you should. Like, you didn't need it there. Like, you could have just walked up, hit him, you miss your LSA combo, which is something you should practice, because, like, that goes, I mean, if you can hit your LSA off your Cyclone all the time, or, good, 80-90%, you're gonna get 4 or 5 extra kills a game because of it. And, like, the big problem now is, like, if you had that Shadow Blade, you can use it to escape if you need to. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I would not have. I mean, you guys had 4 or 5. You guys could have fought that hard. So, I mean, you got your kills, so that's good. What item do you go for next? I'm guessing you go for your Ags, which, again, the timing wouldn't be the worst. But overall, like, your team's getting kills, but you don't have any map control. You've got very little in terms of warding, and you're not doing a good job. I mean, like, the waves are, you don't have very much vision, and as a result, you're in this awkward, like, hey, even we get some kills, we can't get anything out of it. Your Dragon Knight's this guy's useless, just awful. I mean, his farm at the first 10 minutes was pretty good, but he really tailed off. And he won't. You can tell. You can just tell at the start that he won't be able to carry late because he has, like, he went Mask of Madness into BKB, and at 25 minutes, he's gonna have, not so much in terms of relevant items. And the big problem, you can use Mask of. I mean, he didn't try to switch, and his mana pool's relatively low to begin with. So he could use his Mask of Madness to farm quicker. Like, if you get Mask of Madness, the biggest advantage of Mask of Madness is you farm quicker. Use your Mask of Madness to kill that camp, run over here, kill this camp, and then as you walk over to the next one, there's your cooldown. And you do that a lot better. Focusing on you here, that's good work. Use your to break it, you hit your LSA combo, perfect. That's good. Yeah, and this Kunkka, like, even with double damage, like, he doesn't want to fight you guys. This guy's got it. This guy has to die. So you're missing a lot of LSAs, and that's a huge problem. You got a Shadow Blade out. Yeah, like, it seems like you've missed at least three or probably 5 or 6 LSAs. I mean, it's not the easiest spell to hit, so that's that's gonna happen from time to time. But you're missing a lot of them. And if you hit one of those LSAs, like that's a Kunga kill there, and a kill at this point would, you know, like that's a huge loss to him. He'd lose 390 gold and probably 50 seconds of farming. And right now his gold per minute is 416. That would have been like 800, 900 loss for him, plus the, you know, 7, 8, 900 gain for you. I mean, look at, in terms of levels, you're far and above the bat. I mean, you're playing well. I mean, it's one of those things. Like what do you say? You're playing well, but if you're hitting your LSAs and you buy different items, and I mean, like there's no like standard item build to make, so that's kind of a, you know, it's kind of, you know, hey, what do you do? But you know, I feel like, I mean, like I'm on the fence with the Shadow. I think the Shadow Blade might be okay. I mean, you are getting pickoffs with it, you're getting kills with it, so I mean, it's in a lot of games I'd advise against it, but you know, if you want to do it, that's fine. I don't think the Shadow Blade is going to be the reason you lose these games, lose this game. But like, if you look at gold right now,
bottom tower is under attack.
like this Sven and DK are they're close to each other. The problem is Sven does a lot more with items than DK does. So just remember, if you ever play a carrier of the Mask of Madness, use it to farm. Just run around and kill camps. That's pretty much, it sustains itself. You guys have just not enough wards. They shouldn't get a free Aegis. That's a big deal. But you want to finish your eggs, so you take this creep camp good. Yeah, like another problem is your offlaner Mirana. She's got nothing. She's got 3k gold and 3k, 4k gold in value. She's got nothing. This was your offlaner, so that's a huge problem again. Like, you're huge right now. You know, I think you're playing well. It's what's killing you guys is poor team fight decisions. You're not catching the breaks you need. Poor warding. And no real game plan. Like, Sven with a BKB is a lot scarier than a DK with a BKB, considering the lineups. Like, they've got Shadow Blade on Kunkka. They'll have stasis traps. They'll have Guardian Angel just to deal with, you know, Sven when he goes, or when DK when he goes to town. But you guys don't have really any real answer to Sven. Like, if Sven gets a stun off, or Kunkka gets a boat or a torrent, your heroes are gonna melt. You've got so many squishy heroes. Yeah, he's got a dataless at 28 minutes, so oh, this would be a big kill if you can get it. There you go. That was a poor arrow. Poor arrow. You get the Aegis, so that's good. That's a big deal, getting rid of an Aegis. You can't really push after it, but yes, I would. A big suggestion I can give is,
Regeneration.
I don't know. You picked a Lina early, which is fine. Maybe you could have told your teammates maybe something to do better, because like the Vitamancer's not doing anything in terms of, you know, laning or team fight. Didn't really do much. The Mirana's kind of just useless. Like, you're playing this game where like they've got a techies who, even if he's not doing anything in terms of kills or whatever, he's placing mines just to make it harder for you guys and give himself some vision. And he's getting a lot of kills anyway. They've got a Crystal Maiden who, even if she doesn't really do anything, she's got an aura that helps the team spam their spells. So that's a big deal for them. They've got an Omni Knight who, if nothing else, he's got a Guardian Angel in a team fight. But you've got a Mirana who can't really do much. You've got a Vitamancer who doesn't really do much except maybe drop it all in the team fight. So, like, the heroes are like this. You can see right now. This is where hero choice makes a big deal. A Vitamancer, like if you played Vitamancer core in the offlane and maybe ran Mirana as a support, you might actually have more out of it. Yeah. Like, it's kind of tricky right now because this guy's still not using Mask of Madness. Like, he's not building tanky enough, and he's not building tank, and he's not building damage. Like, he's just building these items that don't do anything. Like you kind of want to, like, your options are either farm or go get pickoffs, and if you're farming for a BKB next, that's fine. But I mean, you can see there's none of them on the map. You could run around in your jungle and try to get a pickoff. Oh, they're all bot, so there's gonna be a team fight, I guess. There you go. You just walk up and nuke someone, and that's the power of having an Ags on her. But this is what we're gonna see right now: is the Sven BKB is gonna kill 4 because your team's all squishy. Well, he only killed 2, but yeah, Sven just ran in and just blew people up because, and that's only with BKB Mask of Madness treads. When he gets crit, he's gonna melt heroes. And this is the, you know, hey, we've got a DK. How come our DK can't do anything? Kind of approach. So, what you can do in terms of trying to help your team out, like you walked up and got a nice, easy Laguna Blade kill. That was perfect. You guys could have got out there with a 2-for-0, which would have been huge, but you know, they initiated on you guys, and they have a Sven. I would have saved the double damage rune. You are gonna want you're gonna want that for a pickoff, not for. Yeah, you actually haven't gotten anything out of it. You used it. It's, you know, about 50% done, and you didn't even get a creep kill out of it. So, like you could have ran top, popped your double damage, went invis, and Shadowblade killed this tankies, or look for someone in the jungle. But hopefully, like, I think your DD is going to be out when you run into someone. And you know, again, it's not the biggest thing if you're trying to kill a techies, because that was a gimme kill. But if you were trying to wrap around on a Sven, you need that double damage to get that kill. So it's one of those, hey, it didn't really matter this situation, but if you're trying to wrap around on someone else, that would have been a big deal. BKB is okay. I would have considered possibly going Octarine Core. Octarine's amazing on her. Just the, is it 37 seconds on Laguna Blade, and you know, almost 5 seconds on that, and around six for Dragon Slave. So again, BKB is great and all. The problem is, you've got BKB, Shadowblade, Mules, and that's 3 kind of defensive items. So that's something you could definitely change. I really feel like you know, the treads are kind of defensive in a way too, because Phase Boots would have given you more. But yeah, I mean, I mean, you're not playing a 3K player, excuse me. But I mean, you could probably be around, you know, like 35, 30. I mean, you could gain a lot of MMR. Like if you play Lina like this and change your item build, you would earn. You would definitely grow in terms of experience and MMR. So your team, again, you got 1 ward on the map because I'm assuming they've got gems. Yeah, you guys fed them a gem, and that Kunkka's just gonna run dewarding. So like that's a big deal. If you like, you guys bought a gem, maybe 2. I'm not sure. Yeah, your team bought 2 gems, which is 1,800 gold. That, you know, what have you gotten out of it? Like you guys buy gems, and you're not looking to be aggressive. Like if you're just trying to defend, the gem's useless. But yeah, Octarine Core is really good on Lina. The lifesteal is also amazing. You know, you Laguna Blade for 950. You're gaining another, that's about 300, 250, 300 hit points you'll gain from, you know, that plus another spell. So like that's just a big deal. You know, over the course of a fight, you get 2 or 3 stuns off. That might be 600-700 health you can regain. So like your team's, like right now, your team's clumping, farming just the jungle, and you can see that they've got a guy in the jungle, and they'll be farming bot, and they've got someone else who's, you know, I mean, they can rotate and shift over top, and all the meantime they've got techies placing mines. Kunkka's got a Silver Edge, which will take care of Fiery Soul, I believe. It'll take care of Dragon's Blood. You blew up that Sven, that's great. Missed it, so whatever. Doing fine. Yeah, your teammates are kind of letting you down. Like the Lion seems to be playing fine, but Mirana's got no items. Like just look at the net worth. Like your team's down like 4K, but like you've got nothing on 3 heroes. You've got a Yasha treads. But I mean, like you got to pick off. You guys got to turn this into a tower. Like you guys can fight 5v4 with no Sven, and I think going back to farm is not the best idea because the later, I mean, you have to know the later the game goes, the harder it is for you guys because they've got more in terms of late game. And yeah, you can get good items on your supports and on your Mirana and your DK. The problem is it's one stun. Sven hits 1 Stormhammer on 3. I don't even know where he died. Yeah, so he was in no man's land. He's just bad. So yeah, like 1 Sven Stormhammer on 3, and you guys get team wiped. Because he will Stormhammer, BKB, run in there, cleave you guys out. At the same time, Kunkka's gonna Shadow Blade and do a Tidebringer, and it's just gonna be a huge catastrophe. And I'm guessing that's gonna happen at some point. Is you guys are gonna get Stormhammered on 3, if not more, and you're gonna get blown up. Because that's how all Sven games end. Every time you lose a Sven, that's how you lose the game. You get Stormhammered. You get Stormhammered with like the rest of your team, and he just runs in and cleaves you all to death. So, considering the fact that Soldier Bio, that's not the worst idea. Considering you guys aren't really putting much in terms of pressure, this can be a free kill. There you go. Like that's a big deal. You just keep heroes off the map. The problem, like it's a 5v4. You guys can try to push. Like this DK still he's falling behind in farm. So he's going Mask of Madness, BKB, AC. He got that BKB really early, and he's still got a 10-second charge on it. So he actually haven't used it. BKB is one of the worst items in terms of value if you don't actually use it. If it stays a 10-second BKB charge, you've just spent a lot of gold for, what, 30 damage? So that's a huge problem right there. He still had a 10-second BKB. Huge mistake. And he's going for AC, which is good and all, but I guess AC is not bad. The problem is he doesn't have any farming mechanisms, and as you can see from the last hits, I'm gonna guess he's at 100. He can't die there. That's bad. He could be probably at 120 last hits, maybe 130. Jeez, he's almost at 200 last hits. That's unbelievable. He's almost at 200 last hits, and he's got no items. Good stun. Your Lion's playing well. There's that Stormhammer on a bunch. That's again, you didn't kill that Sven. He was, these are just small little things, and yep, knew it was gonna happen. Like in terms of items, I think it really just comes down to items for you. In all honesty, you went BOTs. That's got to be a mistake. So I mean, you went treads into BOTs. Like that's 2,500 gold that you could have spent on something. I mean, that's like an Octarine. Like the extra damage you get from the damage you get from items would possibly kill this Sven or the Kunkka, or help you chase heroes or get away. And like that's just what's killing you right there. It's just your items. Your item choices I think are not the best. And you want to discuss it, you want to message me, that's fine, we can talk about it. I feel like that's really what's setting you back is your items. The Shadow Blade seems okay. I mean, you're getting kills out of it, but in the grand scheme of things, like it's not the worst. You did use it. They've got a couple squishy heroes, and if you're at your combo, you can blow all these heroes up. So, like, I'm not gonna say that Shadow Blade was the worst idea. I think maybe earlier Ags would have been better, but at the same time, whatever. You're getting value out of it. Getting the BOTs makes no sense. I'm sorry, that's just like you've got
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
like instead of a smoke, You know, like you could have had. Oh man, you could have had a good chunk of your Octarine core there, and just again the bonus damage and the bonus hit points would have gone a long way. So I just think that's like BOTs don't get you much. Like BOTs mean you attack slower, you do less damage, you have a smaller mana pool, you have a smaller health pool, and yeah, I don't think BOTs are gonna. I mean, if you're gonna try to split push, that's fine, but you know, BOTs aren't the best for, you know, just trying to split push because you're a Lina.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So I just think that's a big deal. Item choices goes a long way. Your decision making is pretty good.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You just a lot of kills you
Dire's
missed. Your
structures are fortified.
LSAs were off. So I don't. You're playing very well. That's all I can say. You're playing very well, but I feel like some of your decisions are what's it's haunting you. It's just like if you had another few more kills because your items and maybe one less death, maybe this game's different. And you know, again, like your DK is useless, and your Venomancer is useless, and your Moran is useless. You've got 3 very, very awful heroes on your team that aren't doing jack. Like combined, they are. I mean, like this Lion's got deaths, but he's also playing pretty well. You can ignore the assist on Vino because he's getting some in team fights. So yeah, you've got 3 and 9, 2 and 7, and 1 and 3. So you've a 40-minute Dragon Knight who's not really been involved in the fights or anything, and has no farm. Or he's got farm but no items. So yeah, so they're 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they're 6 and 19. So you know, there are things you could have done to win this game, but at the same time, if your teammates played at a 3K skill level or 3100 skill level, if they played decent, you'd have been fine. But their hero choices hurt, their laning hurt, their inability to buy the right items or utilize their items hurt. It seems like most of it's on your teammates. If I were to assign blame for this game, it would be like 3% you. I mean even still, like, I mean, I don't. Like, it's hard to blame someone for. You know, you're like 19. You end up game what 19 and you end the game 21 and 5. That's a joke.
I'm back with the tide.
Yeah, you are playing extremely well, so that's a good TP. That's a really good TP. Picking a spot like that, that's actually a really good idea. That was great. Using a Selv in base to be more active, that's a good idea. Probably gonna stay in base for another second or two. Yeah, like another second or two might have helped. But you need to figure out your next item. Save for buyback. Maybe Heaven's Halberd. Silver Edge. Get a little tankier. Yule's there is good. Yeah, this doesn't look like a 3K player, so. Boom, nice kill. And the thing is, like, you know, you can make the case that, you know, hey, you're getting a lot of your kills because of Laguna Blade, but you guys end the game with 32 kills and 35 deaths. And you have 10 assists and 21 kills. So you're involved in all your team's kills except 1. So this is one of those games where it's just your teammates suck. For future games, I'd consider doing a couple things differently.
Double damage.
It's not the heat, it's the humiliation.
Yeah, I think buying BOTs is not the best idea. Like one more, like an actual item there might have helped you out a little bit more. But yeah, just overall, you know, you're better than. I mean, based on this game, you're better than the skill level you're playing at. And the easiest way to fix that is just be better than what you need to. Silver Edge. I would, if I were you, change your quick buy, or you change your little thing to, you know, maybe have a silver edge in there if you buy it, you know, frequently, or any other items like Octarine or just stuff like that. Have all that stuff just in there so you don't have to search for it. And it's not like the biggest deal, but if you save 3-4 seconds, you know, each time you do it, it's, you know, it is being more efficient, and that's what Dota is about, being efficient. Oh, this guy's friggin' dead. There you go. Nice kill. So, yeah, you're doing your job. Unfortunately, your DK's tailed off. He's got. This is the DK at 45 minutes. BKB at 10 seconds still. So he's never actually used it in a team fight. Mask of Madness, which he didn't use to farm. And most of an AC. Like this is the teammate you have. Like this guy's got to have, you know, this guy has to have at least half the blame. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really watch your line much, but I think he's doing okay. So I mean, like, that's just a big problem right there. Your DK sucks. He's finally 35-40 minutes in the game. He's using his Mask of Madness to actually farm, which is good, but he dies again. Why not? He's got a 10-second BKB charge. The guy has not used his BKB at 45 minutes. It's so, yeah. So, like, think of it this way: he bought that BKB, and he got literally nothing out of it. Like, he got,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
was it 24 damage and 10 strength for 3,800 gold or so. 4K gold, whatever it
Dire's
costs.
bottom tower is under attack.
So, yeah, 20. Yeah, like he could have, with that gold, he
Dire's
could have bought
structures
a
are fortified.
Reaver
Dire's
and had
bottom
some
tower
had
is under
extra gold.
attack.
He could have bought a
Radiant
Reaver
structures
and
are fortified.
stun on one. Could have been a lot better. This is where Sven goes to town. So, yeah,
Dire's bottom tower has
does he end this game with a 10-second BKB charge? That would be a joke.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
You've got Cyclone if you need it, so that's something to keep in mind. I would not dive for that maiden. You could have, no, you couldn't have. You could not have Yule's dodged that because you stepped over a stasis trap. Oh, DK uses 10-second BKB charge at 48 minutes.
Dire's bottom tower
That's
is under attack.
bad. I don't know what any of that is. Something, com SADK. So I think you're saying that the Dragon Knight's bad
Radiant's middle
in
barracks
Spanish
are under attack.
or whatever language that is. It could be Spanish, could be Portuguese, don't know. But yeah, that DK was just garbage. That's just painful. He'll use his BKB charge at some point, so yeah, I mean, Venomancer ends the game with nothing effectively. Mana Boots and nothing. Didn't put points in Poison Sting. Wow. Okay, Poison Sting is a passive ability that gives bonus damage and a slow. And it applies to wards. So, what the hell? Yes, this Venomancer is Argentinian something or other. Raging at the end of the game is something you're allowed to do this game because your teammates sucked. But it's your teammates' fault, not. Did not get Poison Sting. So this Venomancer actually also doesn't know what his spells do. Dragon Knight bought a BKB, didn't really get any value out of it. Rage, rage, rage. Language I don't understand. This is just awful. Morana, Diffusal Blade, Yasha. Like, that's what you get out of an offlaner in 50 minutes? I mean, like, just look at the net worths. Like, that just... Yeah, I mean, that's gonna happen. Like, it was so close for the longest time, which is pretty much just you running around killing people. So... Jesus Christ. Like the Crystal Maiden has almost as 1,000 less net worth
Radiant's bottom tower
than
is
the
under
two supports
attack.
here. Crystal Maiden's on par with your offlaner.
It's for all of us.
That's just bad.
Radiant's bottom tower
Piss poor
has
game.
fallen.
So for you, I think you played really well. There's a couple things you could have changed and done differently. Phase boots, I like. Yeah, I mean, you saw Silver Edge. I don't think doesn't really do much, so I would have gone for Octarine. That's an item you really need to get on Lina a lot.
Double damage.
You know, it just, you know, how many more fights could you have won, or how many more kills could you have gotten, or how many kills could you have evaded had you had an extra LSA, or an extra Yules, or your Shadow Blade had shorter cooldown. So I think it was a mistake to go for Silver Edge. I think it was a mistake going for BOTs.
Roshan has
And
fallen.
it'll just speed this up. Then the game will be over in about 2 minutes. So yeah, I feel like item choices is a big deal. Your teammates didn't help you out much. You did well in your lane, and you ganked, and you got a bunch of kills. So I mean, in general, in a game when you go like 21-5, I mean, like you're involved in all but one of your team's kills. That weren't, you know, that weren't suicides. Your actual team kills.
Radiant's
Yeah.
bottom tower is under attack.
It's your teammates sucked. So good dodge.
Tower is under
It's
attack.
another advantage of Yules.
Dire's top tower
Yules is a
has
good item in this
fallen.
game, actually.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Your team lacked.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Your team lacked DPS. Your team
Radiant's
lacked
bottom barracks has
good work there.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
Yeah, I mean, you're based on this game, you're not a 3K player,
Radiant's
so
middle tower is under attack.
change up your items. Hopefully, you get lucky.
Radiant's middle tower. Radiant's
Yeah, so
middle
commend
tower
Lina because
has
I
fallen.
think they acknowledge you played well. That's another good dodge. Yeah, you ended the game with the most hero damage, so that's good. I mean, you played very well, so not much you can say about that.
A gift from the night.
So yeah, I mean, your DK useless. I mean, your safe lane carry went 1, 8, and 6 with that at 50 minutes. Awful. Like you could just tell like this Sven was gonna get big. Kunkka, you know, Battle Fury, Daedalus, Silver Edge, DK, Mask of Madness. That doesn't really do anything on him. BKB that he used once, so it's effectively not an actual item with Avatar, and AC that he got 45 minutes into the game. So like he's a good reason you lost. Venomancer never skilled his Poison Sting, which is mind-boggling. I don't think the Lion played well. I mean, he went on the Yules, which is very good. He got a Blink Dagger, which was good. I can't really blame him. I don't know. But yeah, your teammates sucked. There's a few things you could work on. I mentioned them ad nauseum. But yeah, I mean, you're a very active mid who won the lane and went around ganking. That's not what you can ask for on a hero. Item choices, though. I'm going to post this. I'll give you the YouTube link, and then if you have any questions, just throw them back to me, message me, or post, and we'll discuss it. Nice game, though. You played very well.